Yo, what's up my brother, what's up my sister? This is your boy Oscar Ntege again with yet another amazing video. In this particular video today guys, we are going to go through full details of banning and dodging. I'm going to show you how to create more depth in a picture like this. Such a technique is going to help you actually create that grungy kind of sports-like feel. It is going to emphasize some of his abs, and it is also going to help you give him that kind of chiseled look. Now, before we dive into this video, please take a minute, subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and of course, leave comments below. Tell me what has resonated with you in this particular tutorial. Let me give you a moment to subscribe. Come on, go ahead. It is that red button down there. Done? Awesome. Let's dive into this. Now, what we are going to do right now, we are going to use curves to ban and dodge. Yes, we're going to use curves. So how do we do this? You come here into the curve adjustments layer right here, and then you come and say curves. So what you're going to do, we're just going to pull this down just like that. This is going to be for the ban, okay, right there. And then we're going to rename this ban, and then we're going to still come here into the adjustment layers, get another curves adjustment layer, and we're going to pull this one up just like that, and then we're going to name this dodge. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We're going to press to go into the ban layer, press Ctrl I to invert the layer and get into the dodge layer as well, and then we press Ctrl I. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Now we are going to get our brush tool, this one here, and then we shall reduce the flow of this to around not more than 5. We shall keep it around 3, and then we're going to come and begin banning using the brush tool. So how do we do that? You come here, but before we go into the banning and dodging, let me just show you what exactly we are going to do. Let me just give you an overview of exactly what we're going to do in this picture. Now basically, if you don't know what banning is basically darkening, and dodging is brightening. So in a picture, usually you in order for you to create more depth, you ban. In order for you to ban so that you push certain features away, and if you want to emphasize certain features to bring them forward, you dodge them so that they pop off. So it is that contrast that creates depth in a picture. Let me just create for you here something, and I give you an actual feeling of what exactly banning and dodging is. I'll just create a new document here, right here, just to help us for demonstration purposes. I'll just create a new layer, then I'll just come here and then create let me just draw an egg like that, and then I'll just get any color. Okay, let me just get this red color here, and I'll get this the paint bucket, then I'll pour paint there. So I'll just create a new layer and I show you what banning is. Now if I come here and say, and then get my brush tool, I'll make it big, and then I paint. Okay, with this layer selected, let me just put back the opacity to 100, and then I paint over there. Yes, see how it has brightened, and I get black. I'll just create another layer just here on top, and I get black here, and then I just come and paint over the edge here. Now look at this. Let me just come and put this in a group, yeah, so that you see what I'm talking about. So I'll put this in a group, the ban and dodge. So you see, when it is flat, that image itself is flat right now, but when we ban and dodge, it gets more dimension. You feel like you can go all around the whole square. Basically, you feel like it's an egg that you can go all around. This is now what banning and dodging does to one image. It gives an image that three-dimensional kind of feel, and that is the look we are going for. However, there is also now this banning and dodging you see here is called global banning and dodging, but there is also what they call micro banning and dodging. That will be, of course, in some other lesson, but I go into full details of micro banning and dodging in my retouching course that is coming soon. As soon as it comes, I'll put the link in the description of this video. But as of now, you understand the whole concept of banning and dodging. So let me just come back to our picture here. So this is what we're going to do. So we get this brush ban layer. You come into the ban layer right here, and then we are going to begin banning to increase more emphasis into this. So we shall just come here and then we reduce the opacity like at around 3, just there, and then I'll come and get the white and then just begin painting over the shadows just like that, So what I'm doing, I'm just only emphasizing where I see shadows. I just come with my brush and then paint over. Okay, allow me go a step backwards, and maybe I just give you another overview of how to know where to ban and where to dodge. So how do you know where to ban and where to dodge? Let me just create another help layer here just to guide you, for your guidance, you know. Well, most people complain that my tutorials seem to be too long. The intention of why I do such tutorials that go into this deep explanation is that I do them for the people that are really slow learners. As a person, I was a slow learner. I used to come on YouTube here and people were running through tutorials. I never got to learn a thing. It really took me hard time until I met somebody who took me step by step. That's why I do these tutorials that are a bit slow. Therefore, the slow people that are like me, you know, people who want to understand the whys and the don'ts. If the advanced people, of course, there are many channels out there you can go to learn, but this particular channel is mostly for people who are not very fast learners as myself. So you come here and then when you look at this, where I'm going to paint blue, that is where we ban. Now you see this part here, it has shadows, so we are going to ban there and emphasize that. When you look at this side of the face, it still has shadows, so we are going to come and ban. All these are going to be banned. We're going to still come and ban into these shadow areas. See all those? We come and ban through all this. These are also mid-tones, but we are going to all these. Yeah, basically you just looking out for those places that have shadows. I usually love also banning around the edges so that I give the face that kind of feel. See all this depth here? We're going to come and ban and emphasize all this, all underneath these muscles, all this, and we emphasize all that. Yeah. And for the dodging, where do we dodge? Let me just use another color. Maybe I'll use a yellow to show you. All this is going to be dodged. Every bright part. See all this? We're going to dodge all through this. You know, the goal is creating more depth in the whole image. You're going to dodge all these highlights. So that is how you know which parts to ban and which parts to dodge. So let me just delete this and we go back to our banning and dodging. So I'll just get the brush tool, get onto the ban layer, and then just come, oops, see, this is too dark, so I'll just press Ctrl Z or Alt Command Z if you're using newer versions of Photoshop. I'll just put this back to 3 and then come back and ban all this. I usually love building it slowly by slowly. All this you come and ban through. You know, the more you ban, the deeper the shadows get and the more chiseled it's going to look. If you do a lot of sports photography and bodybuilding photography, I don't know, but this tutorial is going to be an added advantage to you, you know, because look at this, you come and ban through all this. The goal of when you're banning men, it is to create more depth into the muscle so that he's more chiseled and the like, you know, unlike ladies where you have to you know, regulate the banning. You know, for men you really want all these muscles chiseled, for example, for this particular kind of image, you know. So I just come and ban through like that. Okay, let me just show you the before and after so that you guys see what I'm talking about. Look at this. That's the before. See how we are creating depth in the whole image. I'll just come here again around this particular zone, so I still want to have that. I'll come also here on the pants and still ban Still, I'll come here in the smoke zones, just like that. So basically, I'm just only emphasizing certain parts. So let me just come here and I show you now the dodge. Let me just show you. That is the before and that is the after. So let us dodge, let us emphasize certain parts. So I'm just going to come here with my brush tool still, with white selected. I'll leave the opacity and flow at the same setting. Then I'll just come and emphasize these highlights more, you know, like that. Also this, I just come and emphasize, you know, you just want the guy to look, you know, gorgeous to the ladies, yeah. So that is why, so in such parts I usually come and use like a big brush like that. See, like that. So the goal is just to emphasize then I'll just come and dodge this and just bring it back for the sake of depth. Still, I come in the hair section and dodge certain parts because I also come and emphasize the rim light here. Same applies over here. Emphasize the rim light at the edges. So basically what we are doing is emphasizing those little nitty gritty details, okay, because we want him to be more chiseled, okay. And then you come here and then also rather dodge over this. You know, when you look at this particular piece, I'll just come here and just put this in a group so that we look at the before and after. Look at the before. Let me just zoom out so that you get the feel of what I'm talking about. Look at the before and look at the after and look at the before. That's the after. Before, after. Before, after. See how we have emphasized certain parts of his body? So I'll just come here and also emphasize this muscle and also bring it on. You know those pictures of Dwayne Johnson when he's shirtless, the ones you see on movie covers and the like? I mean, you can give your pictures this kind of vibe, especially if you do a lot of sports photography and all that stuff. You know, let's look at the before and after. That's the before and that's the after. That's before and that's the after. Isn't that amazing, guys? So now it's up to us. For me, I would end it here, but if you want maybe to give it that grungy kind of sports feel, I could come here and just create like a stamp of this particular image. Let me just rename this bun and dodge. Okay, so I'll just come and create a stamp of this. Control Alt and Shift then E to create a stamp of, oops, sorry, did a mistake. I'll just come and select this, then create a stamp of the whole composition. I press Control or Command Shift Alt and then E to create a stamp of the effects that are happening below. So in order for me to create a grungy feel is that I just come here and use what they call vivid light. Vivid light, when you look at those pictures, sports pictures, they usually look very, very sharp and have that kind of crisp, like kind of feel. I'm actually using my hands as if you're even seeing me, but you just come and change this into vivid light, and then you come into here, filter, you say other, and then you say high pass. Okay, so when you say high pass, you can just come and, you know, push it all the way forward like that. When you take it so far away, definitely it will be so chiseled. You don't want it to be too sharp. You still want to maintain that kind of you know, just a sharp look, but you don't want again it to be overly sharp. I'll just keep it at 3.9, depending of course on the size of the image, and then I'll just come and zoom it in for you here and look at this. That's the before and that's the after. Before and after. The other characteristic these particular images, sports pictures, have is that they're usually desaturated, not overly saturated. So how do we do that? I'll still create a stamp of this particular image. I press Ctrl Alt Shift and E, yeah, and then I'll come here, filter, and then say camera raw filter. I'll wait for it to load. My computer seems slow. I don't know whether it's the camera raw filter. Then I'll just come here into here profiles, and I'll pull down the saturation a bit, and then of course I'll just come and put in a bit of blues, just a little bit, and a little bit of green towards that side, because it moves completely. We suck out the reds and the warm colors so that we put it towards the cold tone versions, towards that side. Then from there I'll come, maybe I could just do some dehaze a little bit to emphasize. Then I'll bring the blacks so that they are dark towards that side, like that. Then the other part I'll come to is I'll usually come into what is it called? It is calibration. This is what I was looking for. So I usually come into calibration and then just begin playing around with these knobs, you know. So I can come here and maybe put in a little bit of orange and teal by emphasizing the greens, and then adding in a bit of saturation just around there. Then I'll come also here and take it towards the blue side, or maybe no, I'll take it towards the blue side, increase saturation a bit so that I give it that Dev Hill kind of vibe. And then I'll come here into curves and just pump down, not pump down, but just bring out the shadows a little bit, and then I'll just come and emphasize the lights even more, and I'll say okay. So basically that is how you create this kind of grungy like sports field using burning and dodging. I hope you guys have learned something from this video. I hope to see you in my next video. By the way, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, click the first link in the description below. I'll be super grateful. That's that for today. I'll see you in my next video, and adios.